The Sharks lose in preseason, but so it doesn't really matter. But the Sharks fall to the Anaheim Ducks 3-2, and join us as we cover this very entertaining game that definitely did not put me to sleep. We have a different host today. It's Jules. Jules finally learned how to host, and that's a dangerous game. You should follow us on all of the platforms, the YouTube, the X, which is not Ian's favorite. Actually, it is Ian's favorite. The Insta, the Facebook, all of the socials. I'm not going to go through all of it. You know to follow us. How do I get to the main screen? Oh, my bad. I got it. And we're joined by Puckguy and Ian.
I love the ASMR that you're providing. That was great, Jules.
I'm
You're
trying,
doing great,
peeps.
sweetie.
I'm trying. I almost ended the stream by accident. Yeah, the Sharks lose in a shootout, and Cutter Gauthier opened Vitek Vanecek's 5-hole like actual butter. It was kind of sad to watch. I mean, I have to address this. Does Gushin make the team?
I feel like he should. But I am concerned that he didn't play a lot in the third, and I didn't really see what led to that. Because I was trying to watch two games at the same time. Because why watch one team lose when you can watch two teams lose?
Hey, it's preseason. Who cares?
We do, apparently. Come on now.
We are doing a live show after the fact that the Sharks just lost 3-2. Thoughts before we get into the actual game? Who actually stood out to you guys? Because I thought Will Smith, even though he could not hit the net, had one of his best games as a Shark in the 3 games that he's played as a Shark.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah. I mean, I liked a lot of what I saw from Will Smith. Will Smith not hitting the net is unfortunate, but I think it's again, it's preseason, whatever. I don't know, but I do agree. I think he's gotten better as the preseason has continued. I like Daniel Gushin's game early on. So again, I was trying to watch 2 games at the same time, and I'm not sure what led to him getting benched. But I thought that overall, I thought Gushin was good, and I thought that I liked his attempt in the shootout. I just again. I'm glad the preseason's almost over. But this was at least 2 teams with both teams playing with a pretty decent lineup, which usually, the earlier on in the preseason, you get this is half a team that plays for our ECHL team coming to visit your arena, right? And this game was, there's more people there. So it made for a little bit better of a game, but yeah.
I mean, you have some exciting young players on both teams. Puckguy?
Yeah.
Kind of to go with what Ian said, it's nice to see Smith doing a lot more things.
He made some ridiculous passes.
Yeah, I mean, passing. Yeah, I agree with some of the comments in the chat. The one-timers, yeah, maybe get going. But that's what you got. You got a few days to get everything ready. You have one more preseason tomorrow. Who knows what they send to Vegas?
But I don't even know who they're gonna send. I mean, we don't know any. The last we heard is Salbrini is skating, but also it's the Sharks. So who knows? He could come back tomorrow. He could come back, in 10 years. In June. He'll announce the first overall pick at the draft.
He's like, yeah, this was me last year, but with the first overall pick, the San Jose Sharks take
the insert name here. Is the Sharks power play going to be good this year? Because their first goal on the power play was quite fun. It was quite a fun goal. Smith took a shot, missed the net, but then Klim Shady picks up the rebound.
I have concerns about their power play. Again, preseason, so we're kind of just seeing a lot of just random guys kind of thrown together. I still have concerns though. I don't know who's quarterbacking this power play.
It's the one who's going to lead the team in shots, Mr. James Wallman himself. And I say
Yeah,
that
Jake
not
Wellman.
joking.
Yeah, Wellman. I guess
Or
so.
Jake.
Jake Wellman. Yeah, but I mean, like, so there's one line. I just don't know who's going to do it on the second unit.
I mean,
I have concerns.
I would say Cagnoni, but I just don't think he's ready. Sorry, Puckguy, go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is Cagnoni making this team, because that's probably your go-to guy on one of them. But
He didn't play tonight, and it feels like that's the defense they're rolling with.
I like Cagnoni. Like I said this on the last time we were on, that I think like Cagnoni's done enough to get a couple of games. I want to see him in games that matter and kind of see if he seems to hang as well as he has so far in the preseason. Because again, like, it's hard to really judge by these preseason games because it's not it's not a real NHL game. Even if you put real NHL players in there, it's not a real NHL game until there's points on the line. I'd like to see him get a shot there. I just want to. I have questions, and it's not like I'm sour on the player. It's just it's a big ask to ask a player of that age to step in and play NHL minutes, especially on a power play unit. Like, I just think it's a big ask, right?
it is. I mean, you look at Celebrini, you look at any of the kids. Let's be honest here, to lead this power play and lead it by example with veterans in Granlund and Toffoli and, well, I hate to call him a veteran already, but Fabian Zetterlund, who did wonders for this team last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's you're putting a lot of pressure on it, and granted, I'm sure Celebrini can do that, but you also want to see some other supporting staff from it and not relying on the kids to
yeah, but like, and here's the difference, right? Like, and again, I don't want anyone to get it twisted. I don't like Luka Hignoni, because I really do. But the thing is like, what people have to remember is, like, Macklin Celebrini is a first overall pick of the last draft. Luka Cagnoni was a fourth round pick 2 years ago, right? Like, one of it's a much bigger ask of Luka Cagnoni to step into that role than it is a Will Smith or a Macklin Celebrini, not just positionally, but just because, like, the pedigree is obviously a lot higher.
Yeah, I mean, if it was up to me, I'd start Cags in the AHL, and I've said this before.
Well, I'd give him a couple of games to see if he can. Like, again, I just want to see if he can hang, but we won't know that until we play a real game that actually matters.
But from the defense right now, who are you taking out? Like, because lovingly put, they love their Matt Bennings, they love their Jan Rudas as much as we all hate those players. I mean, they love them. So who are you taking out?
You're probably carrying 7D, so you can put somebody. You can rotate.
I guess. Yeah.
Marc-Edouard Vlasic hasn't skated yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, there's room. There's a spot for him with Shakir Mukhamadullin also not, like, have just started skating. Like, there should be room for Cagnoni to get some games in until someone gets healthy or until he shows that he can't do it, and then you call a more veteran player up. I mean, again, like, I'm not trying to say, like, I don't think he can do it. I just want to see it I just need to see it to believe it in a real game.
No, that's real. Then the Sharks naturally allow a goal. Frank Petrano scores from Terry and Dumoulin.
It was a nice shot.
It was a nice shot. Yeah, like,
I mean, poor Vanecek. I know we'll get into the shootout, but I mean, he was getting peppered big time tonight. I mean, 42 shots he took on, 40 saves. We'll give him that.
Yeah, and some difficult ones too.
Yeah. Then the third period happens and Cutter Gauthier scores. I think Cardwell had a bad turnover or something like that happened. Feel bad for Cards there. He got an assist from Killorn and Leo Carlson. The Ducks, not the Sharks. The Ducks at some point have to be good, right? Like, they have a good young core. Like, I really like their core. You gotta think this year they take a step, eh?
They should. I mean, this is a team that should be taking a step. It's weird, right? The NHL has a lot of teams like this right now, where it's like, when is the step coming, right? Like, I'm starting to put, like, the Ducks, they have done like their blue line's a mess.
It's children.
Yeah, but even as children, like I think their blue line's still pretty sus. They've definitely got like the young players up front. I think Dostal is the guy for them. Like I think when they are contending again, like Dostal's going to be the guy between the pipes. I just think their blue line's still a little bit of a mess.
I mean, I feel like they haven't isolated the kids to a certain degree. And down there in Anaheim, they kind of not necessarily like completely let the kids take the wheel, but a little let the kids take the wheel.
I think, well, here's the problem, right? So the issue with the Ducks is you had a GM change in the middle of your rebuild.
Yeah.
And then the new GM, Pat Verbeek, comes in and decides, I don't really like this. I don't like what I see. And the rebuild kind of gets extended a little bit longer than it probably should have.
Yeah.
If you had some good, like, and I think justifiably so, Pat Verbeek had to come in and kind of clean things up. So I think like they should. I think, are they a team that should turn the corner quicker than a team like the Sharks per se? 100%. But I don't know if it's this year.
No, that's real. Go, Puckguy.
Yeah, sorry, Jules.
No, you're good.
Do you guys think it's okay for them not to do much in free agency or to improve this team? Because I mean, there was a lot of criticism from pundits and Ducks fans that they didn't do much, and they're just going with what they have this year, or from last year, I should say. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet and it kind of made me think like maybe they're saving up for next year's free agent market, which is arguably supposedly better than this one. So maybe they're going after a big fish there. But like that's not really a valid excuse to, in my opinion, not really isolate the kids down there.
Yeah.
Like especially on D, you don't necessarily want every single pairing to have a child on it, in my opinion.
Right. And and I know I said like their blue line's kind of a mess, and I don't mean like the prospects they have. Like they definitely have some really legit defensive prospects. I just think that the veterans they have trying to like hold it down at this point kind of
Or
sucks,
not.
right?
Yeah. Like
I'm not saying like Mintyukov or Zellweger. Like I love Owen Zellweger.
No, you heard it here, folks. Ian Reed hates Owen Zellweger.
Owen Zellweger. No, I love Owen Zellweger. Like I think he's a stud. It's just getting those guys to. I think it's just surrounding them with better players than Cam Fowler and Radko Gudas.
Radko Gudas, the newly named captain of the Anaheim Ducks.
And they have to get rid of John Gibson.
Well, he's been on the trade block for 8 years now. So,
right.
To each their own.
Which has he been on longer, the trade block or the injured
or the contract? What?
The injured list or and that's the problem, right? Like I think when you look at Anaheim, with John Gibson, I mean, obviously, it bugs me when people like bring up like, oh, it's trade deadline time. So I'm talking about John Gibson, and it's like. Teams like that think that John Gibson would be the answer haven't watched John Gibson play. Like the Ducks, if you've ever wanted to see fruit rot on the vine, that is the like John Gibson textbook.
Good analogy from Orange County.
Yeah. Nice. And then followed up, the Sharks tie it with like 4-ish minutes left. Eklund with the assist, Henry Thrun with an actual bomb from the point. I honestly, the Sharks don't like shooting, but their defensemen sure do like shooting, because it's been like 2, I think, back-to-back games where one of the D-man just absolutely unloads from the point. And they get a goal, and Puckguy is sending me a tweet that I'm assuming I have to read. That is correct. I saw that. I was going to get there, but
just making sure you saw that. That's all.
I also love how much we're overanalyzing that tweet, but we'll get to that in a second. I'm going to make people wait for it.
Good. Tease them. Nice.
It's about Celebrini. Anyways.
Celebrini treats and more.
Celebrini?
Celebrini for Swayman, straight up.
Oh, that whole debacle. Hey, I'd give you 64 million reasons why I'd do that trade.
Oh, boy.
What?
Henry Thrun.
I'm joking. I meant to say would not do that trade. My bad. 64 million's why I would not do that trade. Anyways, Henry Thrun scores.
Love that shot.
Good shot.
I hope he can use it a lot more. And you're right, Jules. The defensemen feel like they want to shoot, while the forwards are like, what about dumping chase?
Yeah, Wenberg in overtime literally should have shot the puck and just was like, "Nope, here you go, pass the potato." Like I know we are all probably gonna hate on Wenberg a lot this season. It sounds like, but again, it's preseason.
I haven't been impressed with Wenberg at all in the preseason, but again, I always have to caveat that with it's the preseason, and
right.
I'm not making any broad. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Yeah, just broad, this is what's what right now. Because again, I need to see games that matter so I can get an actual feel for what this team is.
I'm sorry, hold up. Wenberg is our Justin Hull or Mitch Marner. The difference is Mitch Marner is very much so more skilled than Alexander Wenberg.
I will take Mitch Marner.
I will take Mitch Marner.
Mitch Marner, that'd be great. Because we're not making the playoffs anytime soon. Heck yeah.
Yes, thank you. Go. Conclusions. Thank you.
Yeah.
What's wrong with me today?
Broad conclusions too, yes.
But yeah, and then we proceed to go to overtime where the Sharks just decided we don't want the puck for the first 3 minutes. That was really fun to watch. They were the puck scares me. Yeah, Ian,
coaches ruin 3-on-3.
Oh, absolutely.
God, yeah. This is the reality of it. If you give coaches long enough, they'll ruin anything fun. And 3-on-3 is something they've absolutely ruined, because it's if you don't have a clear line to the net, you cycle it back and go back into your zone and cycle it around a little bit and then try and break out again. And if you can't get that odd man rush going, then it gets back in your own zone and try again. It's the worst, man. I hate NHL coaches. They ruin all the good things.
What was it, the first 2-3 months when it went to 3-on-3? One, how many games finished up in overtime really quick, and two, the speed that was just going.
Because it was just fucking seat of your pants, fire wagon hockey. It was the best. And then coaches are like, no, we can't.
No, we can't have good things.
Can't have good things.
We can never have good things.
No fun allowed.
No fun allowed. You heard it here, folks. Sorry, Tomas Hertl.
That's why we traded him. No fun allowed.
Yeah, we traded him to the Vegas Golden Knights.
I remember that day, Jules.
The day that this happened.
The day music died.
Game 7.
Did somebody say?
Oh my god.
I had to.
You didn't even say it.
I know, but I mentioned Vegas, so I'm just gonna play it.
Oh,
wow. It's the day the music died.
The day Jules stopped hosting the show. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm not gonna say that on live air. Anyways, then we proceeded to go to a shootout where Trevor Zegras, I think, forgot about his creativity for 5 seconds. Will Smith almost had a nice goal. Terry got stopped. Gushin got stopped, and then Cutter Gauthier just opened Vanecek's 5-hole.
Oh,
brutal. Yeah, it was I don't want to dump too much on Vanecek because he made a bajillion saves and some of them were very difficult, but that man, Cutter Gauthier,
just wide open.
Yeah,
it was like Ian playing goalie there.
It was bad. Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
I was afraid he was gonna pull a groin. I'm like, oh god.
Oh wow.
I mean, our goalies are actually made out of sticks and bricks, not sticks and bricks, sticks and glue. So
what you don't know is that they put bubble wrap inside the goaltender's pads to make sure that we don't get any further. Because my god, I mean, I know it's not just celebrating, but the amount of injuries around this preseason just have been ridiculous.
Okay, I'm asking this. Askarov or Sway, apparently.
Oh my god.
Okay, so here's the problem with this whole premise. Is that who says no, the Sharks or
that's the wrong button.
That's okay. Who says no, the Sharks or the Bruins? Obviously, the Bruins are saying no here, right? With where they are, unless they think Askarov is going to come in and play for them immediately and be good. I like Askarov. I think it's good, and I like Jeremy Swayman a lot too. But the issue is that these are two teams in two very, very different places. And I don't know, man. Like, I like Jeremy Swayman, but I think Jeremy Swayman wants a lot of money. If I was Jeremy Swayman, and I'm not, clearly.
You sure?
Yes, like I can confirm that I am not Jeremy Swayman. But if I was Jeremy Swayman, I would sign a shorter deal for a lot of money, and then when my contract's up, because right now, what's the gripe that everyone has with Swayman? For those that have a gripe with him, is he's never really, he hasn't done it. He hasn't been taken a starter's load. He hasn't played the majority of the games. Right? He has a small little NHL group of games. And from what we've seen of that small group of NHL games, I think Jeremy Swayman's a really, really good goalie. But is he a $9 million goalie? Fuck, man, I don't know. I wouldn't want to. Like, if I'm the Bruins, I'd have a hard time coughing up. Like, even 8, I think is a lot. If I was him, I would sign a shorter term deal for less money, bet on myself, and then when I've proven that I am the starter, then I would go in, and not only that, because this would also allow for Igor Shesterkin to sign his new contract, which
That's gonna
will
be like
raise,
13 billion.
which is gonna
That's
be
gonna break
insane,
the
right?
bank. Yeah.
Like, so I think so you let Shesterkin kind of, because and Shesterkin's a better goalie than Jeremy Swayman, in my humble opinion. But still, you let him kind of raise that. You let him get his contract, and then you prove that you can be the starter, and then you ask for your 8-year deal for a bajillion million gazillion dollars, right? And then you have more. But I look at the guys that, like, you comparable in that $8 million range. Like, what did UC Saros get?
It's something in the 8 mil range, I believe.
Right, like, and then Connor Hellebuck, same thing, right? But those guys have both proven that they are legit, like, they're legit starting goalies. They're not tandem guys. And I know tandems are becoming more common in the NHL now. Like, the science has shown that you don't want to play your goalie 70 games a
Unless
season and then
you're
expect
Andre
him to.
Vasilevsky. Yeah.
But even then, right?
But even
Like,
then, he had back surgery last year, so
Right.
so I mean, to
Um,
me, like, I just think if I'm Swayman, I sign for a little bit less for a shorter term, and then prove that you can do it, and then you turn around and say, okay, look, at this is what I've done.
yeah.
What is your criticism now? But I am not Jeremy Swayman.
No, you're
I'm
Gary Bettman.
fascinated to see how. Yes, I'm Gary Bettman. I'm fascinated to see how that plays out. But I think, like, again, but as far as like a hypothetical trade in that situation, it doesn't make sense for the Bruins, because they're in a very, unless they think Askarov's going to come in and be their guy. And and I think behind that Bruins team, I think a lot of guys can be that guy. And that's why I'm kind of fascinated by this thing, because I don't think much of Jonas Korpisalo, but if he looks just even decent behind that Bruins team, that hurts Swayman a lot.
Yep.
Yeah. Because that defense is really it's good. Like, it's one of the better decors. They're very big. That doesn't make them good, but they're very big and they're very physical. So I don't know. We'll see.
And the other thing too, sorry, Jules,
No,
let me
go.
just, is, you guys mentioned about his workload. He's only played 44 games max in a season. And the other part going on too, let's say the Bruins get off to a bad start. They mentioned on, I think it was 32 Thoughts today, they don't have a back-to-back till like mid-late November. So
Yeah.
it's not like they're, get front-loaded with games. So they
I
can
still
make him
think
sit
that
and
the
wait
teams.
till December 1st when he has to sign.
Yeah, and usually by that point, see, but the longer you sit out, like, I know that these guys are in ridiculous shape and everything, but it's hard to get
The
into
rustier you get.
December hockey
Yeah.
form after not playing for, not playing any real games for that long. It's hard to get into December hockey form at
Yeah.
tonight.
I also want to clarify, the Sharks are not getting Jeremy Swayman.
Oh, no. I mean,
Like,
obviously, like
just for clarification.
yeah, no. I'm not. I was just,
Yeah, no.
it's fun to play the hypotheticals and stuff, especially
Yeah.
after a preseason game.
So when are the Sharks trading for Connor McDavid? Yes, Puckguy.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if things fall apart, where do you think he could go?
Ooh, I think Detroit could always use more goals. No. Who has cap space? Like, not a lot of teams
Who
have.
has cap space? Who
like-
has?
I know one team. Columbus.
Oh, I could see
But
that.
there's no way he's going over.
But I also think he has trade
Dude.
protection, and I don't think he's.
He doesn't have trade protection. He has a contract.
Well,
There's no trade protection.
Oh wait, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean, I could maybe. I mean, what is Columbus giving up?
No, I mean it doesn't make sense, right?
I mean the bottom 5 teams in payroll.
Well,
Columbus,
Montreal,
Anaheim, Calgary, San Jose, Utah.
Well, no, they have Ingram.
Yeah.
Who's the other one?
No, Vanecek. Fucking.
He's been trading.
He's
been traded to
Melka.
Yeah.
I mean, Ottawa. Oh, heck, he can be reunited with Linus Ullmark.
Oh my God.
That's exactly what Ottawa should do. No, I'm sold. I'm sold.
I think it, like, at the end of the day it gets done. Like, they're gonna figure it out. But man, it's so contentious though, right? Like I think that's the part that surprises me, is just how contentious it is. And like, if he got butthurt because of his arbitration hearing, I can't imagine like what this is going to do for that relationship. It's going to be fascinating to see how it plays out. But I mean, obviously, if you sign a long-term deal, then I guess you get over it.
Yeah,
you kind of have to at that point, right?
I feel like the longer this goes, the worse it gets. Like, at least for the Bruins, like, because in a trade they don't have any leverage.
Yeah. Real Deal Prime asking what's the latest on Askarov. So what I believe I read today is he has started skating. He was assigned to the Barracuda, which makes sense. Allows him to kind of get back into game shape there. Right now, again, the Sharks have Vanecek and Blackwood, so they can they don't need Askarov up right now.
By the way, all of you East Coast people who write about the Sharks and stuff like that, please do your research before you tweet something. I don't know if this person was from the East Coast or whatnot, but like, there was a tweet today that was going to blow up. Just look into it.
It was done. Okay, so this was done on purpose, right?
I know.
This was by design. This is Renaud Lavoie, who is he works for TVA mostly. I mean, he covers the league in general, but also covers the Habs. The Habs were a team, obviously, that were super in on Askarov and didn't end up getting Askarov. So, I think a lot of the people that took victory laps were like Montreal, who was the team that was the closest to the Sharks to getting him. And then, of course, Nashville, where they're like, oh, look at this. He can't do anything. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, anyways.
It's the whole point of Twitter now, right? Especially if you're dumb enough to fucking pay for it, is to farm engagement. And that's exactly what he did. He was just farming engagement, because that's how Twitter works now. You say stupid shit or just inflammatory shit, people tell you how dumb you are, and then you laugh all the way to the bank because you're getting all these interactions. That's how it works.
You're not wrong. What I was gonna say something and I lost my train of thought. Puckguy, people like your dog.
Oh yes, Sharky's like, I'm ready to go to bed, guys.
Hey.
Also the Cuda lost 5-3 to the Condors. I believe Haltman had 2 apples.
Yeah, 2 assists. I thought Haltman had a really good game. He had a really good game. I liked Haltman's game. I'm glad that he's on the Barracuda and he's not in London. I think the Barracuda could be interesting this year. I know I say that every year, and I do remember that this team is still coached by John McCarthy. So that does give me pause, though. But if you look at some of the players that are there and some of the players that could potentially go there as the season progresses, right? I think that they could be interesting. Are they going to be good? I don't know, but I think they'll be interesting. And I will settle for interesting at this point.
Let's hope the Barracuda are good. I'd like to cheer for a team who actually makes the playoffs. I'd like to cover a playoff game. Let me just rephrase that.
That would be great, to be quite honest.
I'm like Jeff Skinner right now.
Oh boy.
I'm the Jeff Skinner of this show.
You've never, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. No.
It makes sense, but it's just yeah. Anyways, go on.
Anything else we have?
Well, we
I
teased
don't think so.
something.
Oh yes, I
Yeah.
forgot about that. As y'all can tell, listen, I've had a long day. I'm day to day. So for Max Miller, ran into scratches tonight on my way down, including Celebrini. He was moving down the steps way ahead of the rest of them. Doesn't mean anything for his injury status, but good to see him moving well. Bordalo was with the group and moving as well. Again, means nothing, just good to see. So who knows when we're gonna see.
They're not in traction. Good to know.
I mean, we know he's walking and he's moving, so I don't know. We know he skated this morning. Not McCarthy. Jesus Christ. Warso didn't confirm or deny that he'd be playing tomorrow, nor did he confirm or deny that he'd be playing opening night. So
yeah, which is typical.
The Teal curtain, folks, is back.
The Teal curtain is back. Yeah, Vince is saying that John McCarthy rubs me the wrong way anytime he has to do media. He comes off as poor and condescending. I agree.
He's an interesting man. He was very insistent to give me a fist bump. I think I also just didn't process that he was there when I was at the game. So, anyways,
are you guys going to opening night? Opening night? Anybody? Obviously, me. Not me. That's not gonna happen.
Puck, I go first.
I am for sure.
Okay.
I'll be out there.
Yeah. I was supposed to, and now I'm not. So, Puck, I was. So if anyone wants to buy a ticket, hit me up on Twitter, please, or on the X, or whatever the fork you guys want to call it.
Semcast asking. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go.
I was going to say, Semcast asking, are the Whales locked for a division? I think the Ducks might be weaker this year for some reason. Yeah. I think that the Oilers are going to be good, but on Sunday, I believe we are going to be doing a division preview on the Pucknologist. So I won't say too much now, but I will say stay tuned, and it's something that will definitely be discussed, I believe, on Sunday.
So stay tuned for Pucknologist on Sunday. Also, I think the Canucks got stronger, but find out on Sunday.
But without Thatcher Demko, will that be hurtful for them?
I think they're PDO merchants for a lot of last year too, and I wonder if things come back down to earth a little bit on the shooting percentage size of that. But the Pacific's going to be ass.
The Pacific, yeah.
Which is why the Sharks can make the playoffs.
Oh my!
Put your bets in right now.
But again, like I'll get way more into it on Sunday. I don't want to do it twice.
Don't blow your load.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Is there a booing sound effect on this?
No.
Anyways, I should get one just so I can boo anyone who says that shit. Guys, the Sharks are not making the playoffs. And if they do, I will gladly wear my prom dress. But the Sharks are
right, folks.
Yeah, teal prom dress. So someone get the Sharks to make the playoffs. Jesus Christ.
We need to get in like regular season form.
As you can tell, tealtownusa is in preseason form.
But hey, we had regular season games playing today.
Puckguy sent me another tweet.
I mean, we saw Buffalo and the Kevin LeBankless New Jersey Devils play today.
From Wersofsky, I wouldn't say tomorrow's a decision day. We've been looking at these players for 2 weeks, and some guys into the rookie tournament. The evaluation has been since they stepped foot in the building way back in early September. I thought we took a step forward in that direction. We still got ways to go. This man is not happy with his team right now. No, and
so what can it be then? Because I mean, he's been getting these guys to skate.
I think it's hard, right? It's hard to be, especially when you're coming in from like being a head coach from an assistant coach, because you go from being the good guy to the bad guy.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really difficult transition for a guy. Now, I still think he's the right guy for the job. I'm not like, this isn't me trying to say, oh, they should have went with someone else or whatever, but I feel like it's definitely a transition when you have to go from being the good guy to the bad guy. And I think it's going to I think the team needs to get used to it. But and it's hard because you're trying to implement new systems and everything else, and obviously with the flux of the preseason, you're trying to rotate guys in and out, and it's gonna take time for this to kind of
Click.
figure out where to click, right? I just think it's going to take time, and I don't think it's where he wants it to be. And it's the problem with the NHL preseason and even the NHL season is you don't get a lot of time to make things click. Like you can be, not that the Sharks were ever going to be in it, but they can be really, really out of it really quick. So I think you want to see, like, if you're the Sharks management, if you're coaching, if you're a fan at this point too, you want to see some progress here at this point.
Yeah.
Don't you?
I mean, I think the Sharks should take a step this year.
Not a big one.
Not a big one, but like 20 wins. Anyone? Do we hear 20?
Maybe
crazy, and we
30,
go 20.
But if Warsaw's not ready, Warsaw thinks this team isn't great. I mean, well,
yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, we'll see what the final roster looks like, and like I said, it's going to take time for this to click. I don't think that, like, as much as I've talked about wanting to see real hockey, with real NHL points on the line, I don't think that that's going to magically solve everything, but I think we'll get a much better idea of where they're at based on that.
I think the Blues will be a good test opening night. They did beat them 3 times last year, so we'll see if they can beat them the 4th. All right, I think we're good for a preseason game. If you enjoyed what you watched, give me a second to find the right tab. Follow us on all the socials on YouTube. Click that beautiful subscribe button. Ian will be happy if you do.
Yeah. Hit the bell. Leave us a comment. Tell us how pathetic
how much you enjoyed the show or how much you hated the show.
Tell us what we need to do to get back in regular season form.
Tell us what we need to do to make the playoffs as Teal Town this year. All right. Final thoughts, you two.
When the Sharks do bad, it's bad, and when the Barracuda do bad at the same time, it's worse.
Puckguy.
I mean, he's not wrong. Let's be honest, he's not wrong. But frickin', it's okay to shoot forwards. It's okay. You don't need to have the fancy pass. You don't need to have anything else. It's something. You just got to get your crap together, man. Come on. It's like I think, and it kind of goes with what Warsaw's saying. Get a frickin' guts to shoot the puck, take some chances, give a damn, because this is your final tune-up on Saturday before you have a few days off, and then you're dropping the puck, on Thursday. Get it going, gang. There's no more excuses now. Oh, we got a few many preseason games. No, let's freaking go, man. Let's freaking go.
There is too many preseason games.
And Simcast, this is my custom jersey.
Anyways, yeah, there are too many preseason games. Anyways, we'll leave it at that. My final thoughts: can preseason be over? Anyways, keep it real, keep it teal. Let me try to not fuck up the outro.